I, 39 male. Finally proposed to my girlfriend, 39 female. And she said yes, but doesn't even seem excited. So background, long story short. We met, fell in love, moved in with each other, had a baby, bought a home. So we have been together a little over 2 years. She asked me so many times, "You wanna marry me, right?" In a cute way and always dropped hints and all that stuff. I am just saying she wanted and talked about marriage a billion times. I finally did it. A fancy dinner at a place downtown, drinks, and once we got home a very nice surprise and set up out in the lawn. Lights spelled out "Marry Me," and had our baby holding the ring box, very nice ring BTW. It was awesome. I cried and was super nervous. She was happy. But something was off. She was happy but also kinda like, "Oh, that's cool." She said she really liked the ring. But once we went back inside the house, she just sat down on the couch and went on her phone, not to call friends or family. But to sit on TikTok. I was like, "Oh, that's cool, we can chill." The other thing that is eating at me is that I am the only one being all cute like, "OMG, we are gonna be husband and wife." And being excited. She has only mentioned the ring. Nothing about US. Or being excited or happy. Really weird. You know what is also weird? She hasn't toed anyone yet. Not even her kids. Not her mom or her friends. I already told my mom and coworkers and they are happy for me but now I have this weird anxiety like WTF. It's been 4 days now and she ain't even mention it. Am I crazy or is this strange? TLDR. Finally proposed to my girlfriend and she said yes but didn't act that excited like I figured any girl would that gets engaged, and she hasn't told anyone yet and hasn't said a word about it. The only thing she has said is she likes the ring. That is it. I suggest you talk to her about it. Will anything really change once you're married though? You're already living together and have kids. Maybe if you had asked her earlier in the relationship she would have had a different response. Well, you need to discuss this with her as every person is different. But personally, I don't think I was too excited also. Me and my partner are already living together, so getting married is just a formality, add him on my insurance etc. etc. I am happy though. Girlfriend showed her dissatisfaction about my friend's engagement ring and not in a good way. My M28 friend, M28, is about to propose to his girlfriend, F29. Instead of keeping the ring in his house, he gave it to me for safekeeping. For the past week, I have had it, and I did not tell anyone about it, including my girlfriend, F27. My girlfriend found the ring while going through my drawers when I was asleep and posted it on a Facebook group about rings saying, "Boyfriend really expecting a yes with this?" After I woke up, she had it in her hand and asked for an explanation while she continuously criticized the ring. She also mentioned her post and how many people hate it too. Asked her to delete the post and not take it personally as the ring wasn't for her. The ring is neither ugly nor cheap. Before my friend got it, he asked a few people, and the ring looks nice. It also cost $11.5K, which isn't cheap. Girlfriend accused me of tricking her into believing it was her and getting her excited. I did not intend to do any of those. The funny thing is she didn't even like it, so I don't understand why she is being passive-aggressive about it. This has got me thinking that if this was me who got the ring for her and she didn't like it, what's the point of shamming me on the internet? We could have a private conversation about it if it's not her style, etc., and get it replaced. It doesn't add up that the first thing she did was make an Facebook post about it. When I asked her why she felt the need to post it online, she said that even if she liked the ring, she would have done the same and that people in Texas, where we reside do this, and I won't understand. I am not from Texas, heck I am not even from the USA. I moved to the US 7 years ago from Finland. I have been living in Texas for 2 years. Frankly, I already had some fear with proposing, and now my girlfriend just gave me another one, so sucks to be me, I guess. I hope my friend's girlfriend like it even though mine clearly showed her dissatisfaction. I think that her actions were unnecessary and some friends and family been calling her certain names. What do you say about how her reaction? I've never heard of someone doing this. Sounds like she's just a giant asshole. Chances are she does this shit regularly and she'll do the same shit if you propose. Obviously that's not someone you want to spend the rest of your life with. Show her this post as she loves posts to measure opinion. Opinion here is, being from Texas has no bearing on being a shallow obnoxious ass. Why would you post another person's ring, your friend of all people, to mock and hold judgment? That's actually a shitty thing to do, and sorry. You're not from Texas. You wouldn't understand, as the dumbest thing I heard today. Doing it is low enough, trying to excuse and justify it is just as bad. It sounds like your girlfriend is not a good person. Her reaction was absolutely unwarranted and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who disagrees. She didn't talk to you and instead chose to bash the ring on the internet behind your back? Very odd. My F22. Work hired my high school stalker, M23. Hello. I made an alt account cause I don't want this attached to my main. About 5 months ago I started a new job in an industry I've been trying to break into since I graduated 5 years ago. I'm part of a small team, 10 people, of technicians and I absolutely adore my team and my job. However, on Friday I received an email saying we have just hired someone new. I recognized the name as a boy I had issues with in school when we were kids. From 7th–9th grade this guy followed me around the school everywhere, between classes, to the bus after school, even waiting in the doorway of the girls' change rooms after PE. Easy to say this made little 12-year-old me extremely uncomfortable, and while the school did their best to keep us separate in class he would still follow me around during recess, lunch and after school until I decided enough was enough and started being mean to him to get him to leave me alone, which worked after a couple weeks. We went to different schools for 11th, 12th grade and I never expected to see him again. After seeing the email I went and talked to the only other female tech on the team to see what she thought I should do, and she understood my side and told me to call our business manager and see what he said. I called him and he reassured me that he completely understands the situation and never ever wants me to be uncomfortable at work, and he thinks that I'm doing really well on my team and he wants to keep me at all costs. It was a long conversation but too long did not read. I won't have to work with him unless it's absolutely necessary, and if I get uncomfortable I can call him directly to say I need a break and take some time to myself. He then explained that either him or I will need to talk to our area manager, AM, and explain the situation to him. I said I would and gave him a call, and AM said that I as their current staff member am their priority and that he didn't even have to give him the contract if I said so. I was completely amazed at how receptive my bosses were, and it put in concrete how much I love my team. Now it may seem like a done and dusted situation, get my boss to take back the contract and we'll just hire someone else, but I haven't seen this guy in 5+ years and I didn't want to judge him as an adult on how he acted as barely a teen. I explained that to my AM and he explained that he would be under a 6-month probation, standard procedure, in which him or the company can give the other a week's notice and terminate the contract. He then said I can see how I feel about it when I'm actually in the room with him working and let him know. Today was the day I was in the room with him. I had already explained to the other technicians my history and they said they keep an eye out for me, bless them. We were setting up a large room today, and while we on complete opposite ends of the room I was hyper aware of his presence and was on edge all day waiting for him to say something or need me to explain something, but he never did. He didn't interact with me at all, he did his job and he left. My issue now is that he seems like he won't harass me at work and he does his job, but I don't know if I'll ever not feel on edge at work while he's in the building with me. I don't want to ruin this guy's life by getting him fired, but also I don't want to be so stressed and on edge at work that it ruins the job for me. Do I tell my bosses to terminate his contract to keep me comfortable, or do I suck it up and see if I can chill out so this guy can keep his job? It's a 6-month probation, so you have time to see if he ever works well enough to stay on board. The big elephant in the room was, as kids you guys never had a proper talk it seems, IDK that happened, so you both may need to do that. The ball is entirely in your court, you have the say-so. P.S. What if he can't talk to you now because he feels the cringe? You know that weird nostalgia you remember from childhood and you just cringe remembering it? This is tough. When I was in 7th to 9th grade, I did some stupid stuff to girls I had crushes on. I followed the leads of others and didn't know better. If he keeps things professional, doesn't speak to you unless it's about work, I don't see what the issue is. Boyfriend wants me to AOV with him but not move in together. My 20 female boyfriend, 19 male, of 1 year is looking for a new place. We are both working full-time. We have been living together at his current place for a year now, which means we have seen each other every day, cooked together, done chores together and all that. It is his place though, and I have been contributing some money for food and rent, but not half of the rent. I have 2 shelves for my clothes and some storage, but other than that, everything is his, of course. We have had some issues before, because I began to feel like a constant guest, Back then I only had one shelf for clothes and nowhere really to store some of my other things. But it worked out. He gave me some more room. He is looking for a new place because his lease is ending soon. And he wants me to move with him, of course. But the problem is, that he wants it to be his place and not ours. It means he won't put my name on the lease and therefore I won't help with the security deposit either. But I will still pay half of the rent OFC. But I do want my name on the lease and I also want to pay half of the deposit so it will be our place together. Instead, I feel like it will be exactly as it is now. He will own the place, and it will continue to be his stuff that dominates everything. I will probably get more than 2 shelves for my clothes, but it will be his furniture and feel like his home and not ours. I would be moving my address to his place, but it won't feel like my home, just like his apartment now doesn't feel like home, which is fine though. I thought we could be taking it a step further, moving in together, which he said he wanted too. But instead his idea of moving in together is me moving in with him like it is now. If he is the only one on the lease, he will also have the right to throw me out any day. I won't be secured at all. Keep in mind that he do want to be with me every day, like we have been for the last year. But as I said, he doesn't want me on the lease and in that way not commit fully. It's like he wants me to live with him, but on his own terms. Not because he wants us to be a joined union. He says he wants to wait to move in together for real, where my name is on the lease too, and I don't know how many years that could be. This place is also where I can get to decide on some furniture and add some of my own stuff for the apartment, which he basically doesn't want until then. He says that he doesn't want me on the lease, because he doesn't want me to fight for the apartment if we break up in the future. He wants it to be 100% his, because his family lives very far away and he would have to go back there, while my family lives much closer. I have never said I will fight for it though, and I keep telling him that if we were to break up, we would talk about it like adults. I don't really know what to do. Part of me doesn't want to continue the relationship, because I want it to be equal, and I don't see his plans as it being that. But at the same time, I do love him, and he says he loves me and maybe I'm being unfair. What do I do? Too long did not read. After 1 year of living together, my boyfriend of 1 year wants me to move with him to a new place, but doesn't want me on the lease. And instead of moving in together, I'll just follow him into his next apartment. I feel like we won't be equals. He's treating you like a thing he puts in his apartment instead of a partner. I wouldn't put up with that. I would personally refuse to do it. You're right about the complete lack of security you'd have. Your boyfriend can't have it both ways. If you're going to be around for companionship, then you should be secure. So just don't do it. Also, apartments complexes usually require all adults living in the apartment to be on the lease. So he's not even supposed to be doing that. If you're not on the lease, just refuse to pay. If he insists that it would be his own apartment, well then might as well he paid for everything. Don't move in with him then. He's not ready for that and has some trust issues. Once he is ready for it to be 50-50, move in with him. The fact that he says it is to protect him in case of a breakup is a sign that he has some doubts about it working out long term.